Ange Postecoglou and Archie Gray react to Tottenham's 3-0 win at Tamworth on Sunday. Up next in the FA Cup, Aston Villa away in the fourth round. The Women's FA Cup draw has also taken place. Spurs will need to beat Everton to face Chelsea in the fifth round. A new contract for defender Dorrington and a loan move until the end of the season to Aberdeen. Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has stated there will be at least one more new signing during this window for Spurs. L'Equipe in France have stated that Spurs are still in the race to sign PSG forward Randal Kolo Muani. Juventus may not be able to afford the French international during this winter window. The Independent have just stated that Spurs have held discussions over a possible loan move for Manchester United star Marcus Rashford. And Gianluca Di Marzio has just stated that Timo Werner has held exploratory talks with Napoli. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News, where I'll be going through all the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit the subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you listen to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. Thank you so much to all of you as well for voting for us at the Sports Podcast Awards. The voting has now ended and the winners will be announced on the 30th of January. So thank you so much for all of your incredible support. So let's start by talking about Tottenham's 3-0 win at Tamworth on Sunday afternoon at the Lamb Ground. Ange Postecoglou said, firstly, credit to Tamworth. I thought they gave everything and gave a really good account of themselves. We knew it was going to be a challenging afternoon for us, with the surface making it really difficult for us to play in the manner we wanted to. It is easy to get frustrated on days like this, but the lads kept their heads clear and calm and persisted and eventually overpowered them. Archie Gray on Tottenham's 3-0 win against Tamworth on Sunday, he said they made it really difficult for us. Not to make excuses, it is a bit of a change for us, the different pitch that can affect it, but ultimately we weren't good enough over the first 90 minutes. I thought we could have showed our quality more. Now, following Tottenham's 3-0 win at Tamworth on Sunday, Tottenham Hotspur have been drawn away to Aston Villa in the fourth round of this season's Emirates FA Cup. The fourth round of the competition will take place over the weekend of the 8th of Feb. The exact date and time of the kick-off will be confirmed in due course. Aston Villa earned their place in round 4 with a 2-1 comeback win over West Ham United on Friday at Villa Park. The fourth round draw in full. Manchester United will take on Leicester. Leeds United will take on Millwall. Brighton against Chelsea. Preston against Charlton or Wickham. Exeter v Nottingham Forest. Coventry will take on Ipswich. Blackburn will take on Wolves. Mansfield or Wigan against Fulham. Birmingham City v Newcastle United. Plymouth against Liverpool. Everton against Bournemouth. Aston Villa against Spurs. Southampton or Swansea against Burnley. Leyton Orient or Derby against Manchester City, Doncaster Rovers v Crystal Palace, and lastly, Stoke City against Cardiff City. Now for some official Spurs women news. Our FA Cup fourth round tie at Everton has now been rescheduled to take place on Wednesday the 29th of January. Kick-off time will be 7 p.m. at Walton Hall Park. The FA Cup clash in Merseyside had been set to take place at the weekend, but it was postponed due to a frozen pitch. Now, the Women's FA Cup fifth round draw took place on Monday, and the winners of the Women's FA Cup fourth round tie with Everton will face Chelsea away. The game will be played over the weekend of the 9th of Feb. Now, the draw in full: Wolves against Manchester United, Chelsea v Everton or Tottenham, Blackburn or Portsmouth against Sunderland, Manchester City against Leicester or Stoke, Crystal Palace or Sheffield United v Newcastle United, Aston Villa v Brighton or Durham, Rugby Borough v West Ham or Liverpool, Arsenal or Bristol City against London City Lionesses. On Monday, some official news from Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Alfie Dorrington has signed a new contract with the club that will run until 2029, and he has now joined Scottish Premiership side Aberdeen on loan for the remainder of the 2024-2025 season. Having joined the club as a youngster, the defender 19 progressed through our ranks to make his first team debut in December 2024 in a 5-0 victory against Southampton in the Premier League. On the international stage, Alfie has represented England up to under-19 level to date. Alfie Dorrington, on joining Aberdeen on loan until the end of the season, he said, "It's amazing to finally be here. Everyone has been so welcoming. It feels like home already. I know it's a big club with a lot of history and the supporters are really passionate, so it was a no-brainer for me." Dorrington then went on to say, "As soon as I spoke to the manager and heard about what he wants to achieve here, I just wanted to get up here as soon as possible. I believe the way he wants to play will suit my style, and he just wants this to be the best part of my career. It is my first loan, so I want to start as many games as I can, work hard, and I hope to repay the faith the manager has shown in me." Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Spurs will be signing more players in the January transfer window. He said, "Yes, they will be. I'm expecting more signings. After Antonin Kinski, Kolo Muani is a top target for Tottenham, but Juventus are also interested, and Manchester United also called to be informed on the situation. But there could be more at Spurs, at least one more." Now, a little bit more on the Randal Kolo Muani deal. L'Equipe in France have stated that Tottenham Hotspur chairman Daniel Levy has a good relationship with PSG, and Tottenham Hotspur Football Club are still in the race to sign Randal Kolo Muani, and Juventus also hold interest in the France international, but the Italian club may not be able to raise the funds in this window to sign him. L'Equipe have also stated discussions have taken place between Spurs and PSG over the possible transfer, and the player is open to playing in England in the Premier League. Now, a little bit more on the possible deal for Randal Kolo Muani. The Daily Mail have just published the following. Tottenham hold loan talks with striker who almost won France the World Cup, but faced competition from Italian giants. Tottenham have held further talks over a loan move for PSG striker Randal Kolo Muani. The Frenchman joined PSG from Frankfurt in 2023 for £79 million, having scored 26 goals and assisted 17 in 50 matches. Tottenham Hotspur boss Ange Postecoglou on Friday in his embargoed press conference ahead of the Tamworth away game in the FA Cup stated that he didn't want any players leaving the football club in this winter window. But Gianluca Di Marzio, the Italian journalist and transfer expert, he has stated that Napoli have held exploratory talks with Tottenham Hotspur winger Timo Werner about a possible move in this window. He has stated at the moment, though, Tottenham do not want anyone to leave. They want to keep him ahead of the Arsenal game. So, of course, Tottenham Hotspur are next in action Wednesday evening away at Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium in the Premier League. It is 2nd v 12th. Now, on Tuesday, 9:30 in the morning, Mikel Arteta will have his press conference. And then at lunchtime on Tuesday, Ange Postecoglou will have his press conference ahead of this huge clash. Now for some boxing news, because this fight could take place at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in April. Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. will be a controversial given the issues in the build-up to the first fight, but a deal is close for the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium clash. The Daily Mirror have stated that Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. are nearing a deal for an April 26th fight at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Talks for the fight ramped up over the weekend with the pair and their promoters Eddie Hearn and Ben Shalom in attendance at the Ring Magazine Awards. Those discussions are now at a crucial stage and a deal could be wrapped up very soon. Now, on Monday, a report was published by the Independent newspaper, and they are stating that Tottenham Hotspur have held talks over signing Marcus Rashford from Manchester United on a possible loan deal. But various other reports are stating that Manchester United will not make it easy for any other Premier League team to sign Rashford in this window. The Independent have stated that Tottenham have investigated whether a deal could be possible to sign Rashford in this window, and the Independent have also stated that West Ham United are the other interested Premier League club at the moment. Various other reports in Europe are stating that Borussia Dortmund are another club interested in Marcus Rashford during this January transfer window, and Italian side AC Milan still hold concrete interest in the England international. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode, and there is a lot to get through. Postecoglou and Gray reacted to Tottenham's 3-0 win at Tamworth. Of course, I went to the game. It was frustrating, at that 90-minute stage, especially right at the end when Tamworth could have nicked that win and gone through. It would have been an absolute embarrassment. But eventually we got the job done. We all know that they, some of these players did underperform. That wasn't good enough, but full credit to Tamworth. They give absolutely everything. But Tottenham Hotspur, we need to do a lot better in games like that. Aston Villa up next in the fourth round. That is going to be a very, very difficult game. But let's hope that we can go far in this competition and even lift the trophy. 34 long years without this trophy. Unbelievable stat. 17 years now without a trophy. Let's hope that Spurs can go far in the cup competitions this season and have that excitement. But as I say, we got there in the end after extra time. It's a shame that players like Kulusevski, like Son, Solanke had to have that game time. It wasn't really needed. We should have got the job done in the 90 minutes. So it's a shame that we had to use those players. The FA Cup draw for the women. Of course, the game was postponed on Saturday. It was meant to take place on Sunday. It's postponed the day before. And now, if the Spurs women do get through to the fifth round, Chelsea away, a very, very tough game. A new contract for Alfie Dorrington. Absolutely delighted about that news because Alfie Dorrington, such a standout performer in the under-21s when we won 2 trophies with the under-21s last season. And of course, it's really nice to see those players like Dorrington, Jamie Donnelly, Josh Keeley, etc. They're now getting really good loan moves, and hopefully Dorrington will get a lot of game time at Aberdeen. I think it's a really, really good move for him, by the way. New contract, go out on loan, grab some experience, come back. And, like I said last month, it's great to see players like Dorrington getting Premier League minutes. Of course, he should have probably got more under Ange Postecoglou in this last month or so, particularly with all the injuries that we've had. I felt like he should have had a number of opportunities, but he didn't. So the loan move is a good one, but it's all about getting minutes. It's all well and good, these players getting loan moves, but they've got to be getting the minutes. And it sounds like that Dorrington has had that conversation with the Aberdeen boss, and he's virtually been guaranteed and promised those minutes, which is great to hear. Fabrizio Romano has stated that there will be at least one more signing in this January transfer window for Spurs. Of course, I can hear people shouting now, we need a lot more than one. I totally agree. Of course, we need a lot more than one. Let's hope it is going to be a very busy couple of weeks coming up. It's interesting because Ange Postecoglou said in his pre-match press conference in the embargoed section ahead of the Tamworth game that he wasn't going to let anyone go. Of course, he did speak in that same press conference saying that Alfie Dorrington would get the loan move, so that didn't really count. But Timo Werner has apparently held exploratory talks with Napoli, so that is going to be a very interesting one. Spurs do need to bring a lot more than one player in from now until the end of the window, in my opinion. You need to give Ange Postecoglou the tools, and how many times has Ange come out publicly and said, we need help? So, the Spurs boss needs the help. The Independent have stated that Spurs have held discussions with Rashford. I think that is going to be a very, very difficult deal to get done. And various reports are stating that Manchester United are not going to make it easy because, of course, Manchester United are not going to want him going on loan to another Premier League club, particularly a club like Spurs, because, you know, if Manchester United could put a run together, you know, Spurs are a rival, you know, for those European spots. That's if Spurs or Manchester United can get anywhere near European spots at the moment, because, of course, you know, both teams are struggling in the Premier League table right now. L'Equipe in France are stating that Spurs are still interested in Randal, Kolo, Muani, so that is going to be an interesting one, because there are a number of reports stating that Juventus may not be able to afford the player in this window. And as we all know, PSG, they are willing to let Muani go out on loan, but they want an obligation to buy. You know, from what we've read and what we've seen, Manchester United, Spurs and Juventus are all interested in the France international, but they want an option to buy, not an obligation to buy. But it does appear that Daniel Levy still has a great relationship with PSG. So whether he can work his magic on this deal and get this deal over the line, that Spurs have another attacking player, if they've got that one up their sleeve, then I've no doubt that they won't mind Timo Werner leaving. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you listen to this on an audio platform, please do that follow button and leave a review if you can. Have a great week. I'll see you on the next one. Come on, you Spurs.